Well, the main reason, there's a couple of reasons. The first one is that I had times where I felt a bit lonely because I live in a country, Switzerland, where people are not very connected. So they're kind of superficial. And I'm actually suffering from missing these deep connections that I had in the countries where I used to live previously. Um, Another thing is that I'm actually quite deeply connected with other gay people because I'm gay, but I find it a challenge to connect with um, non-gay people, like heterosexual people. And I saw this opportunity as a way to overcome this and to get out of my comfort zone. And I have to say, it's working brilliantly. I'm so proud of myself that I'm able to connect and let go and give voice to my feminine side with other men who, as far as I know, and it doesn't really matter, are not gay. So that's the other thing. And the last reason is that I was really yearning for more meaningful conversations in my life. You come to the last part of your life, and I'm really keen to make sure that I dedicate time and efforts to what is really important for me, and meaningful discussions are definitely the way to go. So these are the reasons why I was keen to join Transformation Within. So what I really like is when we have these meetings in the evening, but also in the way people write comments on the platform. There's no judgment. People really accept everything. So I feel totally accepted. I feel very safe. There's a very high level of psychological safety in this platform and in this group. And there's also encouragement to one another. And I love that when people are saying, you did great about overcoming that, or all of that is really creating a community where you feel supported. I would say anyone who wants to explore things a bit deeper, who feel like something is missing and who are yearning for something more, um, this isn't a great opportunity to explore that and to experiment. I strongly believe in experimenting. You can't change anything unless you experiment, and this is a great opportunity. Um, Also, it's for people who are maybe a bit overwhelmed by the whole Me Too movement. I feel like, as a man, that I've been put in the same basket as all the other horrible men who have done horrible things to women. I feel like we've all been put in the same drawer, and I'm struggling with that. I find it a bit unfair. And so we need self help groups for men as well to talk about these things. Yeah, it's a bit strange to voice it that way, but it's quite controversial. Maybe I'm not saying I'm against Me Too, but it had an unexpected and unwanted impact also for people like me, that you feel like, wow, I'm being assimilated to being a crook and to being a pervert. And I don't like that idea.
Hey, Frederick. So I've been involved in men's work for quite a while now, and none really hit the spot. None really created long and lasting change. And when I saw that you were making a men's initiative, a men's work community, I was quite excited. And knowing you and the work you come from gave me a lot of trust in believing that what you could provide would be exactly what I need at this stage of my life. I was drawn to the format which you present yourself and the community, which is quite professional, and the chance to interact with yourself and like-minded men excites me. I would say the authenticity of the men here now. The men here now are actually here doing the work. They are ready, they are willing, and they are acting upon doing the work. They're actually doing it. I feel safe to share and be vulnerable. There's already been a couple of tears, which has been like a good sign that people are opening up, that men are opening up. I love the fact that you're spearheading it because, like I just mentioned before, of your experience with leaders and men and women, but men in this case, in major fields and major companies, it it's like It's like when you have a person who says you can make money this way, but they don't have money themselves. You're saying you can grow and be a man this way, and you've got the track record to prove it. And I think that's very, it's very, I like that a lot. Yeah, authenticity in you and the men feel safe, and the trust that you have to deliver the content that men, we or I require. This is for men who, in my opinion, what would you call established? They're a man who's like they've got a family, possibly a car, a house, not necessarily owning it, but they've established themselves in some way, and most probably going to a 9 to 5 job and feeling stuck and bored. Men who are still like they've got the family and they're like, but what next? What happens after these kids grow up? What happens? Does my wife still love me? Asking these bigger questions about what could possibly happen to them later. That's who I think this is for. So if you're a man who like societally has it all together, but inside you realize that something's still kind of missing, you haven't swung your sword in battle, so to speak, then this is the place for you.
The main reasons why I joined, I wanted to find a space, a community where I could learn from like-minded people, but also could test the ground in a space that I'm currently in a space where I'm transforming. And then when I saw the opportunity to join the community and the things you were discussing in the community, it literally was speaking to me to ask you, can I join? And I think it's noticing now as I've joined, it's been a place where I can encounter some of the challenges that I've got and see that there are other men with the same challenges, other men on the same transformation journey or a similar transformation journey to mine. But also, I also saw very quickly it's a very safe place to share what you want to share, whether it's an emotion or whether it's an article or how you're feeling. There's no boundaries to what you can put in there, and I think that it's also a safe place, the community as well. I think that's one of the many reasons, or the several reasons that I've just named that I joined the community. The provocativeness of the posts, and it varies, and the reason why I'm saying that is it just cognitively tickles me every time there's a post in there. As I mentioned, it's become a routine for me to go in every day, and then maybe it is a bit of a FOMO. What have people been sharing? But when I do go in there, I just get sucked into reading, replying, and actually getting just tons of energy, and then saying to myself, hey. I'm actually not on my own here with some of the things that I'm not struggling with, but I want to find a place for. I think that is by far the thing. Yeah, cognitively tickling is the only word I'm going to use. I think the type of men that maybe are at a crossroads in where they are, maybe let's say professionally in their career, or maybe men that want to find that being in a community only with men is a space that they also feel really comfortable in, not being in any way, shape, or form sort of sexist, whether it's men or females in it. I think that's one of the two things I say is why would I refer this community, but also another thing, sorry, as I think about it, is it's just a great group of people, a very diverse group of men coming from extremely different backgrounds, and that diversity, so the cognitive diversity, the geographical diversity, the experiences, the generations between gaps as well, it just makes it a really hot, super cool place to be. And if you've got those questions that you've always wanted to ask, or you've been sort of approaching things and you think, hey, maybe I could have done this differently, or you're struggling with things and you simply want to ask somebody, you realize very quickly in this community it's a place where people feel um, very open to share things, but where there's always going to be one of the 40 plus people that are currently in there that will reply, that will give you some ideas, that will reinforce what you're saying, or maybe be critical about what you're saying and get you to think differently and maybe get you to be realizing that you are doing the right thing, but you simply needed the confirmation. And I think the space that's been created, the community that is now in place, is a place where this can happen. It's almost like a grown-up playing ground. So there are not swings and roundabouts in this community. There are actually people and ideas and thoughts and discussions and resources where you can take what you need. But what I've noticed as well, I think it's important about this community, if you want to get the most out of it, then don't be shy, but take your time, but get involved. And it doesn't have to be a mammoth post. It doesn't have to be a video or a PDF that you want to put in. Maybe it's just a few words. And I think that's the most important thing when I refer it is you go in, but realize there as well, you need to be your authentic self. Because if you're authentic self, the other community members will help you. They'll embrace the things you're thinking about. They'll share things with you, and they'll help you on the journey that you're taking. Because we probably all have journeys. They may have similar destinations, but we may also have completely different destinations as well. I think I want to share that because that's what I've taken out, and that's what I would say to the people. It is that playing ground. It is a space to play, but play in a way that you also learn. And I think people also want to learn from others. Those that have a growth mindset are in a space that they continually want to be energized or continually want to be nourished with information. This is by far, it's the only community I'm active in, and I'm in there because of the reasons I've just shared. I think in the last couple of months that I've actually been, months, not quite now, I've been in the community, I've noticed, and I've only started to realize it in the last couple of weeks, is through my immersing myself in the content, in the resources, in the comments, in the conversations. I've seen a change in my behavior in a positive way, the way I encounter situations, the way I accept situations, the way I use my emotions as someone that's been told is highly emotional, from an emotional intelligence perspective, high. I've just seen a person that's going into situations with a completely different perspective than I probably would have done, let's say 6 months ago. So I think the community now is giving me those sort of ammunition is probably the wrong word. It's fed me with some affirmations that yes, the way you're doing things, yes, the way you're encountering things, and yes, the way you're responding or being Martin is the right thing, and you should not step back from it. So it's given me courage, the community. It's given me support without realizing that the 40 plus men in there are actually supporting me. And I know now that's what I needed because it's been a turbulent year for me from an organizational perspective, and it's been, that's what it's done to me. It's the only thing I can say.
Working with Frederick has truly transformed my ability to lead myself effectively. He has helped me in two crucial ways. Firstly, Frederick guided me in uncovering what truly matters to me, both personally and professionally. By aligning my priorities, I've been able to live a life filled with more joy and fulfillment. No longer do I feel torn between different aspects of my life. Instead, I found a harmonious balance that brings me immense satisfaction. Secondly, through Frederick's support, I've reached a deeper sense of peace with my life's journey. Rather than constantly chasing after elusive goals, I've learned to appreciate the abundance of goodness surrounding me. This shift in perspective has brought me a profound sense of contentment and tranquility. So I can say that Frederick's approach to life and his willingness to share his own experiences serve to me as invaluable role model. I wholeheartedly recommend Frederick to anyone who is ready to take meaningful action in their life, whether it's about their career, family, or personal growth. If you're seeking to unlock your full potential and have a more fulfilling life, Frederick is the coach you need.